Tortoise and the wrestling contest. Long ago, when animals still lived together like neighbors in one village and gossiped more than humans, Emby, the tortoise sat outside his hut scratching his cracked shell and sighing deeply. Tortoise muttered. Why is it that people only respect strength? Intelligence is heavier than muscle. Unfortunately for Tortoise, no one in the village agreed with him. That very morning, Enyi the elephant had lifted a fallen iroko tree with one leg. The gorilla had wrestled 3 buffaloes at once. Even the dog had chased away thieves and was being praised. Tortoise, who could barely lift a snail, felt insulted. If strength is what they respect, Tortoise said, adjusting his shell proudly, then I will become the greatest wrestler this village has ever known. The next market day, Tortoise climbed onto a clay pot at the village square and shouted, Hear me, animals of the forest. I, Emby the tortoise, challenge any animal to a wrestling contest. The animals froze. Then they laughed. Elephant laughed until his trunk touched the ground. Leopard rolled on the dust. Goat laughed so hard he fainted. Wrestling? Leopard asked. With you? Yes. Tortoise replied confidently. Strength is not in size but in strategy. The animals whispered nervously. They had heard enough stories of Tortoise's tricks to know better than to rush. Finally, Lion cleared his throat. Very well, Lion said. Tomorrow at the arena, Tortoise shall wrestle whoever dares. Tortoise bowed deeply, smiling to himself. That night, while others slept, Tortoise began his work. First, he visited Elephant. Oh, great Elephant, Tortoise whispered. I heard you plan to wrestle me tomorrow, Elephant snorted. Of course, I will flatten you. Tortoise shook his head. I fear for you. Leopard says you're too slow and weak. He claims he will beat me easily. Elephant's ears flapped in anger. Leopard said that? Oh yes, Tortoise replied. But please don't tell him I told you. Next, Tortoise visited Leopard. Leopard, Tortoise sighed. Elephant boasts that he will crush both of us tomorrow. Leopard growled. Elephant? That fat tree pusher? And so Tortoise went from animal to animal, buffalo, gorilla, ram, planting pride, insult, and suspicion like seeds. By morning, no animal trusted another. Then came the great wrestling day. The wrestling arena was filled with animals. Drums were beating and birds perched on trees. Tortoise arrived last, walking slowly, wearing a leaf belt like a champion. Who will wrestle me? He asked calmly. Elephant stepped forward, then saw Leopard glaring at him. Leopard stepped forward, then Gorilla blocked his way. Soon, the animals began arguing. You called me weak. You insulted my mother. You said I feared a tortoise. Before anyone noticed, a full wrestling match erupted among the animals themselves in a Royal Rumble fashion. Elephant lifted Gorilla. Buffalo charged Ram. Dust rose like smoke. Tortoise quietly sat on a stone, chewing cola nut. He nodded. This is going better than planned. As the animals that were wrestling became tired, Tortoise declared himself champion. The animals stopped. Birds whispered. Lion narrowed his eyes. Tortoise, Lion said slowly, did you cause this confusion so you can declare yourself champion? Tortoise laughed nervously. Me? I am only small. But Goat spoke up. He told me Buffalo insulted me. Elephant roared. He told me Leopard mocked me. Leopard snarled. He told me Elephant planned to crush me. All eyes turned to Tortoise. Enough, Lion said. Tortoise will now wrestle. 2 strong animals lifted Tortoise into the ring. Tortoise smiled weakly. Can we negotiate? Before anyone answered, Goat flicked him lightly with one horn. Tortoise flew through the air, landed upside down, and rolled like a calabash. The crowd burst into laughter. Champion, the birds mocked. Tortoise lay still, dizzy and dusty. Lion declared, let it be known. Wisdom without honesty brings shame. Tortoise crawled home slowly, his shell aching, muttering, next time, I will compete in talking, not wrestling. Pride invites humiliation. Tricks fail when truth speaks. Strength is not always physical, but deception has limits.